Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you on the 30th of July 2020. And we're going to talk about toppling tyrants. We're going to talk about tyrants that are at risk and the risk that they will wag the dog. It just so happens there's lots of tension in Iran, in China, and in Russia. And quite often when people in charge of places like that, your tyrants, your dictators, when they think their power is slipping, and even in other countries, even the more democratic representative republics and democracies, when the powers that be, the people in charge, feel that their hold on power is slipping, quite often they resort to a tactic known as wagging the dog. Now the good news is, freedom might be afoot. The bad news is, worse things could be afoot too. So, Lord knows there's enough going on in the world today, right? There's perils and opportunities. So, but the perils are very severe. We're seeing quite a few. If you never prepped, now's the time to start. You're behind schedule. You should have been prepping long ago. If you're prepping, sure your prep's up now. We're in a calm, I think, in the middle of the storm right now, and probably the second wall will be a lot worse, I imagine, than the previous one. So I really implore you to consider taking care of yourself and getting supplies. You go to prequel.com. You can get $100 off of a 4-week food supply for you and your family that can last 25 years. Stuff that can really last. The Good Choice of Meals. It comes from My Patriot Supply, and you can click on the logo of My Patriot Supply and go in and get a bunch of other things. Also, you need to be growing a garden. You can still plant a fall garden. Get seeds for next year. You may not be able to get them. Get your tools now. I'm having people tell me that a lot of places are really going to find tools are getting depleted. You might have saw my tool specials. Get what you can. Go to grocery stores, buy dry beans, rice, macaroni, whatever you can get. Things that last. The store, peanut butter. Have your water storage set up. Your water filtration. Watch my videos on filtering and sanitizing water. On eating the weeds and the trees. Okay. So let's get in. What's going on, Greg? Well, for one, Iran. As you may know, there's been a very large series of explosions that began in Iran. They started like the 30th of June, and they've gone at least to the 19th of July for some of the major explosions. They started with a missile factory, and you had a nuclear fuel enrichment factory that was also destroyed. So the Natanz nuclear fuel enrichment place was destroyed. And so was the, what do we call that place? It's the Gorges, I believe, rocket plant, where they produced a lot of their missiles, a lot of rocket fuel. There was explosions around Tehran, a lot of other places. So what happens? It means the mullahs in Iran look incompetent. It means they look not only corrupt, but incompetent. The people in Iran would like to overthrow them, because a lot of people in Iran want a Western-style society. That's a good thing. The more dangerous things are going on in China and Russia. Now in Russia, it just so happens that they've been having protests in the Far East because a very popular governor there got arrested on charges of murder. And the people there and that state of Russia are very unhappy with Putin. They've been protesting for a couple of weeks, asking for Putin's ouster. Now Putin just got basically elected dictator for life. So I guess good luck with that, right? But who knows? There's cracks in the facade. Just as soon as he got that election, he's got a lot of protest against him. So he's not popular in the far eastern part of Russia, Siberia, far eastern Siberia. So on top of that, what's going on in China? Well, we all know the Three Gorges Dam situation. We all know the Yangtze River flood. We all know that right now there's 55, you know, whether the Three Gorges Dam holds or not, there's already 55 million people displaced. Maybe more than that. I think that's how many losing their homes. People are starving. Crop land is being flooded. Crops in warehouses is rotting and getting mold in it. The situation is dire. Yeah, that's going to drive up world food prices. Mosquitoes are eating me. I'm their food, I think, out here today. No, I ain't eating mosquito spray. So, when you look at all these things, you've got to consider that the regime there, Xi Jinping, is going to be under quite a few challenges. No Chinese dynasty or government has ever survived a grand solar minimum. Every 400 years they fall, and we're on cycle for them to fall. Also, there's a struggle with him and let's see if I get his name right. I think it's King Hong. I don't know if I got that name right, but he was the former vice president of China, an ally of the former president. They're in a group called the Shanghai faction, political faction. They are really competing for power in China. China's actually talking about closing their doors again and maybe once again becoming like they were under Mao, you know, having a cultural revolution. Of course, that means probably killing tens of millions of people to purify their country. Who knows what that means? Then again, they could get quite aggressive. Russia, in anticipation of Chinese aggression, has decided to halt their sale of the S-400 missiles. The S-400 missiles are missiles that are surface-to-air missiles that are capable of reaching out 400 kilometers. That's what the 400 stands for, I suppose. Maybe the S is surface-to-air, I'm not sure. But the Russians are really unhappy right now about China's adventurism. As you know, China has claimed more or less Vladivostok. Vladivostok is Russia's main Pacific naval base. And the Chinese are suddenly saying, hey, that was ours. And so there's a lot of tension there. As I mentioned in a previous video, it may be a chance now for the United States to make an alliance with Russia. And it might limit the prospect for war with Russia and might put China at bay. I'm going to do a video real soon about the prospects for a Chinese invasion of the United States, how they could actually pull it off. Will they do it? That's a whole different matter, but I'm going to tell you how they could do it. And I'll do that really soon. There's two generals in China who are actually taking some issue with Xi Jinping and telling him to calm down his adventurism, especially with regards to Taiwan. In the meantime, it looks like Taiwan's all concerned because there's all kind of chat and radio noise and motions they're hearing about and intel they're getting that suggests that China's getting ready to take some of the Taiwanese islands that are not on the main island there, Formosa. So there's a prospect that there may be some action afoot there. And the people of Taiwan are really concerned about that. Where are these 11,900 U.S. troops going? Secretary of Defense Esper says they're coming home, but some people are really wondering if they're going to be sent to the Indo-Pacific region with everything going on there. Who knows where they're actually going to go? You know, maybe some sleight of hand. Maybe a lot of sleight of hand being played right now. We don't really know what's afoot. I've said for a long time myself that we ought to take our troops out of Germany. We shouldn't have so many of them there. The threat in Germany is not what it used to be, and that we could save money by bringing those boys home, and they could spend their money here in the United States and support our economy. Something to consider, especially if we make peace with Russia. It makes it more amenable. I'm not saying that Putin is the best character in the world, never claimed that, but he may be an ally against China. Certainly he's, you know, they have an alliance between themselves, but it's cracking, as I suggested earlier, and the cracks are starting to show. Also, Putin is kind of making a point that, hey, he's putting his hypervelocity missiles on his ships, and he's got that torpedo with a Sarbama that could create a tsunami wave, maybe 1,000 foot high, 1,500 feet high or worse. Might take out an entire coastline of an entire nation. That's nothing to, you know, whether it can take out that much on a 100 megaton explosive device exploded underwater is nothing to take lightly. Nothing at all. That would be a very formidable weapon, and well, they're developing, or have it already developed apparently. So that's why we don't want to get into it with Russia, my friends. We really don't. We need to find some way to avert war if at all possible, and this may be the best way is to get China boxed in the point where they don't feel like they could pull it off. But when you get in a wag the dog situation, it's, you know, all these leaders care about their power, keeping their hold on power. They don't care about anything. They don't care about their people. They care about keeping their power. And if Xi Jinping sees his power slipping, he may take grand moves to maintain it. And a war is quite often one of the tactics that's used. That's what we're talking about when we say wagging the dog. So there's a lot at stake there. A lot at stake. When you look at the floods, the people who are displaced, the things going on. So I'm going to talk in another video real soon about how China actually could invade us. How they actually could pull off a large-scale covert invasion. Covert, large-scale. And what I'm going to say is nothing they don't already know, but something that you may not be aware of. So that'll be coming up in a future video real soon, maybe tomorrow. But the wag the dog situation is real. But so what I'm telling you that with the situation in China, the CCP knows that they got threats internally. That's one of the reasons they're talking about doing a cultural revolution, a purification, closing their borders down. They know they're at risk. But that would also keep them from being maybe as adventurous. But if they go that route, so they're looking at options right now. It would not be good for the Chinese people. You know, last time it happened, a lot of people in China died needlessly. In our opinion, at least, my opinion. So let's hope that don't happen. I hope that the people in China, in anticipation of that, will do the right thing and overthrow the CCP once and for all. And maybe it'll even come from the military. Who knows? I don't know. Of course, their military taking over and just give you another dictatorship. Most likely. Well, there have been instances that it didn't happen that way. So, there's a lot at stake. But there's a lot of opportunities. If the people of China were free, it would be amazing. There's good people in China. There's good people in Iran. There's good people in Russia. My main study buddy in college was from Iran. Tehran, Iran. Persian. My main, hey, I've been to Moscow. Loved it there. Loved it there. And, you know, I've dated girls from China, including mainland China. There's a lot of good people, from all these places. But there are tyrannies over a lot of these places too. So let's hope the tyrannies get shook loose. Let's hope people get freedom. Maybe this decade started off with a rough start, and it really the storm clouds are not looking pretty. But maybe, just maybe, things can turn around. So let's hope and pray for that. That's one of the things we need to do. But we'll also push for that. And you know, there's a lot of things here in America that threaten our liberties. And our personal security. For our personal security, some of us are forming tribe networks. Yeah, there's still some work to do on that. I've got a couple of people that's going to be helping me now with the tribe list. So email me at halfispace@aol.com. The link will be below. And we're also starting an organization to push for our freedoms here in the United States and abroad. State level, federal level, or wherever else. So we're actually organizing. We're already writing letters. We're already doing stuff. We're already making contacts. We're already developing allies and determining who our allies are not. So if you want to get involved in that, we need help. We really need help with that. So you can, again, write me at halfispace@aol.com, but put freedom in the subject line for that. If you want to join the tribes, put tribe in the subject line. I do have reserved, what's my name of the website I reserved? It's, had to add a term in it. It's Future Freedom Founders Foundation, I believe. 4 F's. So we're working on the future. Hey, check out my turmeric out here in the woods. Oh, the camera's dark. Okay, yeah, it's getting really dark here. I apologize for doing these videos late at night. I work during the daytime. I do have a day job. I do work from home. And sometimes it's nearly dark when I finish. I do the best I can to get a video out as soon as I can. I wanted to do this yesterday. By the time I had fun with my cigar video and posted, it was dark. So, support my channel. Click the links below. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Bang the update notification bell and click all. There's going to be a lot more videos to come. And I'm sure you're going to be really curious to hear what I've got to say. Hopefully I can get it up tomorrow about China, what they could do, and a lot of other things. I still got to do my video on lettuce. And I'll do a video on lamb's quarter, I think. I'll check around and see where the best lettuces are. I see one over here. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. take care of yourself, take care of your family, go out and do something positive in the world, as I always tell you. Anyway, thank you for watching.